Coach, you mentioned in your opening remarks you had a really good thing going at Tennessee. Obviously, you're an ACC guy from Maryland. You get into the process a little later in the game after helping with some names, but what was that tipping point that really made you think Florida State's the place I want to be?
It was kind of always in the back of my brain. And it was kind of a little bit of, all right, am I going to take the plunge? I think it was, I don't know if I can really point to one thing, but like I said before, the ACC was big. What Mark has done here is big. Obviously, taking over his program was almost probably the biggest obstacle. Can I really wrap my brain around doing that? And then honestly, I've been at Tennessee for 10 years. I was at Maryland for 10 years. I don't know that I'm that guy that is a forever kind of guy, and there's a part of me that was kind of ready for a different challenge, a new challenge. And you put all those pieces together, this is an absolute no-brainer, and you can be like, well, what were you waiting for 3 weeks ago? So happy to be here and excited to go.
You mentioned a new challenge. Taking over a team on the top of the mountain, not a lot of people get to do that. Just how different is it going to be to attack this opportunity than maybe some of the other jobs you've taken?
Yeah, it'll be a different challenge, great challenge. Like I said in the press conference, I'm going to have to lean on these kids, right? And we're going to lean on each other, right? It's going to be a mutual partnership and relationship. And me learning a little bit about them in the summertime as I watch video, and I've told a couple of them, it's like you've had Mike, Ema, and Mark's eyes on you for whether it's 1 year up to Claire and 6 years, and said you now have a fresh set of eyes on you, and there's no doubt I'm going to be able to teach them things and help with things that maybe they haven't heard before. And I'm excited to do that and excited for all of it. It's a big challenge for me. It's a big challenge for them to have a new leader, so to speak. But I think together, we're all going to come together in the end and see if we can't repeat.
You mentioned it. This isn't something anybody expected to be in situation-wise about a month ago. But not only are you leaning on players now in the age of the portal and being able to move about, you're also having to re-recruit players to your program. How have those conversations been just in terms of learning from them and also trying to sell what your vision is?
Yeah, and it's been a balance between really a hard sell and pushing and recruiting versus just being a little bit more organic, and I think that's my deal. They've had their world turned upside down, right? By going in the portal, for some of them, it's just taking their life back a little bit and having a little bit of control, and I want to respect that. So it's a little bit of getting to know each other, a little bit of me starting to share some of the vision, but some of the vision's a little bit unknown because of the team being unknown, right? So it's all kind of an odd deal, but it's all okay, right? Bottom line is these kids, they got to know me, they got to learn about me, they got to trust me so that we can eventually move forward together.
I know Coach Lonnie Almeida told us a week or two ago that she had a chance to say hi to you in the offices when you come through. There's a saying around here that there's something in the water at the Seminole Sports Complex between what goes on at Joanne Graff and what goes on at the soccer complex. Just to the folks who go to that end in the spring and are very passionate in the fall about Florida State soccer, what's your message to the fans?
Well, before I get to the fans, Lonnie and her program, I've been following them since 2018 when they kind of, I don't know, they obviously had done really well in the ACC, but I had never, going to Tennessee, obviously, that's a softball league, SEC, right, softball league, and Florida State, here they go, and they win the national championship. And I've been watching them for the last 3 or 4 years, and I can't wait to meet Cheryl. What's her first name? Sydney. I can't wait. She's a freaking stud. I can't wait to meet that kid. But in terms of the fans that spend their time at soccer and softball, we're going to continue to win. Our kids are going to continue to play hard. They're going to do their best to continue to win championships. And thank you for all the support they've given, and thank you in advance for how they're going to support me and the women.
You addressed it. This program is among the best, if not the best, in all of college soccer, not just on the women's side. Just how appropriate is it to attack that elephant in the room of, hey, I know we're taking over a team on top of the mountaintop. Just how much do you enjoy that challenge?
I love it. I love it. Honestly, it's a challenge that a lot of people probably didn't want, right? And that inspires me a little bit, to be honest. And like I said, I've kind of been at two different spots when I've taken over programs in the past. I've kind of been at two spots where it's like, oh man, awesome. Oh my gosh, you're not here to save the day, but really excited to see me. And honestly, the other day when I walked in the room, they weren't excited to see me. They just weren't. They probably were excited to have some closure in their life, but at the same time, they still were missing Mark, right? That was their guy. And so full empathy and understanding for that. But I think as they get to know me and trust me, I think they're going to feel okay about their leadership.
Coach, finally, I know you're coming from Rocky Top. They're not big fans of Gators up there either. You mentioned the attendance records here at the Seminole Soccer Complex when the Gators come to town. But on top of just the rivalry, you're going to have a loaded ACC slate. I know Florida State is traditionally scheduled tough out of conference as well. Just how excited are you to finally have this fall roll around, get the evaluation behind, and just go out, play soccer, and do it in front of that environment?
Can't wait. Can't wait. We are playing all the big dogs this year. I don't know enough about, I've heard kind of stuff over the years about different pods in the ACC, and that's how they schedule top teams with the top teams, and certainly that's what our fall will look like this fall. We've got all the big dogs, but then we also open up our first weekend of games this fall is out South Carolina and at Georgia. So two very familiar places, and like you alluded to earlier, continue to play Florida, and it's almost like a little bit of a reunion. I've been there and I've done that without kind of the West, right? The Notre Dame wasn't in the league, Pitt wasn't in the league, Syracuse wasn't in the league, Louisville wasn't in the league, but we've played Louisville from time to time, and I'm just happy to be back in this league.